arguably one of the best coaches in the world in Padel, and unarguably the #1 producer of quality content. And we feel like you could have went anywhere. We're just super honored to have you here.
So in this episode, we're very fortunate to be with the owner of Replay Sports and Social, Jonathan Ende. Thank you very much for joining the podcast.
Happy to be
We're here on one of your indoor courts, on the Padel School court, which we've already announced is very, very exciting for me. You must be really excited about the facility in general.
Yeah, couldn't be happier. It's been a journey to get here, obviously, yet I think at this point we're probably one of the largest indoor facilities in the country, maybe the world. We have 10 indoor courts and some pretty outstanding facilities here. So we're very excited for people to get out, start playing, enjoying them, and obviously start learning the sport.
So you and I, we first met and we saw this facility as it was just a warehouse, and obviously it's a massive project to get it to where it is now. Why did you want to build a paddle club?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think I've always been an entrepreneur, and I think I've always looked for opportunities. I think when I think about the world and a combination of everything from post-COVID to playing this sport to my own kind of transition in life, I felt that there needs to be a new country club. There needs to be a place for people to sweat, to meet new friends, and to enjoy community. So when we had this warehouse and trying to figure out the next things, it just seemed to me almost obvious that this sport, paddle, is going to be the next big thing. And pickle has kind of already exploded, and we're betting big that this will be the next thing to explode. And we want it to be one of the first ones. And then it was saying, all right, well, how do we go and then make sure it's different? We didn't want to be a transactional club where people come here to play. We wanted people to come here to experience.
And it's nice you've done this with your family, really. And actually, I've been on court with you and your brother. There's healthy competition,
and my dad, yeah.
And your dad, yeah, healthy competition, you would say, in the family. And paddle is a great outlet for that, isn't it? That you can play, with family, mixed ages, and really enjoy it. Has it been easy or difficult doing it with your family?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons you're here, is so I can make sure I continue to beat my older brother. It's been a lifelong journey, right? The younger brother complex. I've worked with my older brother for a long time, and my father as well. And it's a family business, so it comes with the things that go along with that. Yeah, it couldn't be more terrific. This is a dream business. Not only do we think this is a great business, this happens to be a fun business. It happens to be something we believe in. And I think just in these days, it's so important that you're working on your physical fitness, you're working on your mental health, and you're working on your community. And that last piece has become so important to me. Those connections, as you get older, are so crucial. And obviously you have your family, which is the most important connection. So to be able to create a community where people can make new connections, I think is what it's all about.
It's funny, isn't it, that if I think back to my school days, we played organised sport all the time. Like almost every day there was organised sport, different sports you're playing in a community, okay, students at the school. And as you get older, there's less and less opportunity for that in a way. And I know pickleball is probably similar in that. And I'd be curious to know, you've got 7 indoor pickle, and you've also got your 10 paddle. You could have just done this warehouse full of pickleball, and it's very, very popular in the US. Out of interest, why did you decide 10 paddle here and 7 pickle there, or was there a time when you wanted to do all of just one sport?
Yeah, I guess it really was a risk. It probably would have been safer maybe to just do pickleball. Yeah, going back to the experience that I had personally in interacting with it, I think that this gave me a couple things that pickleball didn't. And we feel that there's a space for both. We think that there's a space for pickleball, for us to have our 7 courts and our 10 indoor. And just to also put it in context for everyone, we have about almost 100,000 square foot indoor facility, and then another about 150,000 square feet outdoor that we plan on building out. So we'll kind of see. I think that was part of the plan, is after this first indoor kind of quest, we'll kind of see we need more, and we'll build more courts outdoor and hopefully new locations. And
I suppose the question that I want to ask, and most of the time when I talk to club owners or I go to clubs, it's maybe not as nice as this in terms of facility, but they have lots of courts and they just do court rental. And out of interest, why why did you want to have a Padel School Academy here? You could have potentially just gone for court rentals and found a random coach to have given lessons. So why go for the Padel School?
I think, interesting enough, to me it was never a question. You needed an academy, you needed pros, you needed people to be learning, and I think that we're passionate about this sport, and we want to bring this sport, the gift of this sport, to Palm Beach County, the gift of the sport to America, as we continue to be one of the people really being a proponent of its growth. So for us it was never a question whether or not. Yet, I'm also someone that when I do something, we want to make sure we're super thoughtful about it, and frankly, we want to be the best. So, we did what we needed to, which was find the best. Yeah. And we really mean that. And I think that not only do we think you're the best in terms of your content, in terms of the structure, in terms of the programming, I just feel like we're going to be able to offer a differentiation between every other club. We will have organized programs, we will have the Padel School Touch, which to us is something that is crucial, and it's going to be just one more piece of this puzzle of rebuilding to truly create the best experience possible.
And I'm super excited for it. I mean, your team is great, and I think that it's going to be super easy for us to work with your team and to deliver the type of program that actually you don't. I can't think of another club or academy in the world that will be able to offer what hopefully we will bring to the players here.
Yeah, I think what's most exciting to me is not even necessarily the plans that we've kind of created individually and then the plans that we've created together. I think it's what we've yet to create. Every dinner that we have or every kind of lesson that we take, I feel like both of us have like our new ideas of how we can make this thing better, and I just know with our personalities combined and with our teams getting involved, that we will just continue to push the limit in terms of what's possible and how we can make this not just the most fun sport for many people, yet also one of the most challenging and competitive and truly creating champions.
And going back to the idea of building this club, like what is one thing that you've learned along the way? Like what would be one piece of advice for someone else that might be building a club, just a normal paddle club, whether it's outdoor, indoor? What piece of advice would you give to someone?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, obviously. We made a lot of lessons. I mean, while we've been an entrepreneur and I've started co-working spaces and software companies and auto parts and e-commerce, we've done a lot of things. I think the biggest mistake that we made early on was, for us, for Replay that is, was that we were building a paddle and pickleball facility. And I think what we quickly realized is that, yes, we're doing that, yet we're actually building a members club that has pickle and paddle. And I think there's a difference. And I think that once we realized that, it was much easier for us to execute on that. So I guess what it means is, whatever you're doing, pick what you're best at. And pick your differentiation and then go all in on that. And that's what we did. There are other clubs. There's some amazing clubs. There are clubs that are super fashionable. There are clubs that are super just like transactional if you want to go and play. Yet we wanted to create a members club that was truly a great experience. And yes, we can come off the street and you can play it. You're going to really experience another level from not just on the court, off the court as well.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's important, obviously not just for paddle clubs, but coaching or any business really, is understanding your market objectives, right? And yes, you are a paddle club, but it's hospitality. You are working with people and building communities, which is great. And I think it's the start was only just the start. So there's so much more to come.
Yeah, I think just going back to the lesson, I started a software company. And one of the biggest lessons what we made when we built up a pretty big company was we focused so much on sales and getting new accounts, and we didn't focus enough on engagement. And I can tell you right now that at Replay, our number one goal is engagement. As far as I'm concerned, yes, it's great if you come take a lesson, but we want you to take 10 lessons. We want you to take 20 lessons. We want you to be engaged. We want to create programming that gets you coming back for more, gets you to love the sport, gets you great at it, and I think that's going to be most important for us. So we will obsess over all the little details to make sure that you have the best experience possible, so that you want to come, you want to bring your family, and you want to bring your friends.
And that's actually what we've done or tried to do with the Padel School, and it's why we built the platform. And there's roadmaps on there, then there's courses, there's video feedback, there's so much on there with the same intention really, to provide the best service make players better, then they bring their friends, then they play more, then it's more social, and altogether just building a healthy sporting community. Jonathan, thank you very much. An absolute pleasure to share this court with you, sitting in a podcast as well as on a lesson.
Yeah, thank you. We're truly honored to have you here. We couldn't feel more lucky. As I think I've told you before, arguably one of the best coaches in the world in Padel, and unarguably the #1 producer of quality content. And we feel like you could have went anywhere. We're just super honored to have you here, and I'm sure there's a lot of fun stuff to come.
Brilliant. Thank you.